welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Cuyahoga County Public Safety and Justice Affairs Committee meeting this Tuesday, January 16th. Roll call, please.
And just as a reminder to all who are in attendance, this meeting is being recorded and live streamed on the county's YouTube page. Calling the roll, Mr. Gallagher.
Here.
Ms. Conwell.
Present.
Mr. Kelly.
Here.
Ms. Simon. Ms. Simon is absent at the moment. There is a quorum. Also like the record to reflect that Council Member Sweeney is in attendance.
Welcome, Mr. Sweeney. Public comment?
No, Mr. Chair, no one is signed in.
Okay. In your packets, we have the meeting minutes of November 21st. If they're in order, I'll accept a motion in a second.
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Thank you. Resolution 2023-0351.
Resolution number 2023-0351, awarding a total sum not to exceed $10,000 to the Salvation Army for the Community Corrections Program from the District 9 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Do we have someone here?
How you doing? I'm Bo Hill from the Salvation Army, and I couldn't hear anything back there with my hearing aids, so I apologize if I'm not supposed to be up here right now.
Yes.
I'm good?
Yes, you are.
All right, so I appreciate the opportunity to speak. Typically, when I come before council, it's for a homeless matter, and so it's nice that we were able to be recognized with the $10,000 to help support our community corrections program. Mr. Popovich is in the background. We've been working together for about 20-some years or so. And in our community corrections program, we assist people in lieu of going to jail, returning from jail, in lieu of going to prison, returning from prison. And our focus is doing cognitive behavioral therapy, but as well as addressing other issues that they may have, such as substance use disorder, employment, and things of that nature. And so this support goes a long way. And saying that, sir, if there's any questions, I'm not sure what exactly you'd like me to answer, but I'd be happy to answer them.
Questions for Mr. Hill, if there are any? Yes, ma'am.
Through the chair to Mr. Hill, Salvation Army, that's different than the North Point?
To the chair, Councilwoman Conwell, yes, this is, the North Point is a homeless project that is very similar to our past men's project that I come before you before.
Okay.
And so this, right, today we have 138 people that we are assisting residentially in that program area.
Okay, so are you still connected with North Point?
Through the chair, Councilwoman Conwell, yes, we work very closely with the continuum of care, the homeless continuum of care, and while each individual service line kind of is separate, we see where they all connect, and we try to make sure those connections are beneficial to those that we serve.
Okay. And specifically, and you may have mentioned this, the 10,000 specifically for Salvation Army will do what?
Basically, to the
That's
chair, Councilwoman Conwell.
Meredith Turner's ARPA.
Okay. I get what district, but what specifically, which program will it help?
Through the chair, Councilwoman, basically that will go towards operating support directly for our community corrections program.
Gotcha.
So apologies, I didn't understand that question.
Thank you.
We're good? Anything further? Okay. I'll accept a motion if everything's in order. Resolution 2023-0351 to the full council for second reading.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Against? Thank you, sir.
God bless you guys. Thank you.
Bless you. 2023-0367.
Resolution number 2023-0367, awarding a total sum not to exceed $10,297.98 to the City of Bay Village for the purpose of Bay Village Power Bike Project from the District 1 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Good afternoon, Chairman, committee members. I'm Mayor Paul Kumar. I'm here with our police chief, Rob Gillespie, to talk about the need for e-bikes in Bay Village. One of the things we've done with the Cuyahoga County Planning Commission back in 2016 and 2017 was to complete a master plan. We've been executing on that. In the middle of our town, we have a city park, approximately 120 acres, and we have created a series of trails and pedestrian bridges that access the lakefront. We're currently working on a plan out at the lakefront at this point in time, and has created new areas to police. And I'm going to turn over at that point to the chief.
Thank you, members. Thank you for allowing us the time today. Just want to bring up a couple different things from the safety forces aspect. Bay Village is one of the most bikeable cities that I know of. We have a program, the Safe Routes to School. The number of children that ride their bikes to school, especially during the warmer months, it's an outstanding program. The park access, like the mayor mentioned, there's new bike lanes in Bay Village that have made a connection between our city and to the greater park access across the county. Looking at e-bikes, it gives us a greater chance for community engagement. It's just easier to get around when you're not huffing and puffing to get there, when you have a little bit of mechanical assistance. And at the end of the day, what I see this as, it's safer for officers, it's safer for the community. It allows us to get out more, to have more positive interactions with people, and that's generally what we're looking for. Obviously, we were able to respond to calls quicker with an electronic assisted bike, but leveraging this electronic and this new technology will make for a safer community and allow us to have greater community engagement. I just want to thank everyone for their time today, and please let me know if you have any questions.
Thank you. Mr. Kelly?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mayor Kumar took me on a tour of the paths that they've put in throughout these parks. And it is quite a hilly also walk and or bike ride. And it would take you all the way from where the City Hall and Library is all the way to Lake Erie. So quite impressive what they've accomplished at this point. And the e-bikes would certainly allow the police to assist any citizens that needed an assistance throughout these paths leading toward Lake Erie from Wolf Road. And I'm excited to be able to put this through, I hope, to our whole council.
Any further questions?
I just wanted to say,
Yes, ma'am.
Chair, is that the chief needs to state his name for the record.
Chief Robert Gillespie.
Thank you.
Not of the Kevin Gillespies.
I don't think so, but there are a lot of us around.
I'm a Gallagher, so I kind of know it. But I will call you to cause on one thing. I grew up in Lakewood, so that is the most bikeable city in the history of bikeable cities. So I will challenge Bay Village any day.
Challenge accepted, correct.
Thank you. So hearing nothing further, I'll accept a motion for Resolution 2023-0367 to the full council. Second reading.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and second. Further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
2024-0001.
Resolution number 2024-0001, awarding a total sum not to exceed $25,000 to the Edgewater Homeowners Association, doing business as Edgewater North Homeowners Association, for upgraded security cameras from the District 3 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Who might we have?
Good afternoon. My name is Galen Sherline, and I am the president of the Edgewater North Homeowners Association. I'm here today with my colleague, who's the chair of our security committee, Darren Fraun. We appreciate the opportunity to be considered for this money that is critical for a project in our neighborhood. By way of background, for more than 50 years, Edgewater North Homeowners Association has served about 210 homes. We go from West 117th to West Boulevard, and then all of the streets, Lake Avenue, going north. We have about 140 member households, and in addition, in our neighborhood, there are hundreds and hundreds of people who live in apartments on the south side of Lake Avenue. ENHA is governed by a 12-person board of directors made up of our local residents. I'm the president. I'm a non-voting member of that board of directors. And we, as I said, we have a committee structure with Darren as a chair of our security committee. And so I'm going to turn it over to Darren to talk about our project.
Hello, Darren Fron, head of the security committee for Edgewater North. I appreciate you hearing us out today. I want to give you a quick overview of our current system. We've had cameras in our current neighborhood for the past 12, 13 years. Before my time, I've only been a resident for probably the last 7 years. But we have 30 cameras over 12 locations. And those cameras are, at best, they're outdated. We can't see anything with them. If there is anything that happens in our neighborhood, we may be able to tell like a color of a car and the number of people that we can see down the street, but it takes hours to review and to look into these cameras, each camera. If I'm given a 30-minute window, it takes me an hour to look through from a 30-minute window to try to find anything that happens. So it's really old and outdated. This new system, it works with the police. The police can access it. It identifies license plates. It identifies markings on cars. It can look at a bumper sticker on a car that drives in the neighborhood and be able to pick that car out and see if it's wanted by the police or has any outstanding warrants for it. So it doesn't even just see a license plate. There's going to be 7 cameras spread throughout the neighborhood, and we think we can cover the same amount of area in those 7 cameras as we do from our current 30 cameras. We can zoom in on things. They're the latest technology, and also this system that we're going to work with. If there's any new upgrades, they will upgrade it for us. We don't have to worry about trying to upgrade and keep up with the technology. So it's a lot nicer system. The police, it was recommended to us through them. They brought it up. That's something they've worked with. I know Lakewood uses it. On the west side of 117th, there's some cameras already in place. So this would, help support that as well. So appreciate your consideration for this, but this is, yeah.
Thank you. Mr. Sweeney.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, to my colleagues. Thank you for the Edgewater North Association. The beauty of this one, though, is we always talk about one-time money for infrastructure and how is it going to be sustainable. Can you talk about how it might be sustainable with the contribution?
Absolutely. So the initial 2-year commitment is about $47,000. And the $25,000 grant would help us underwrite that to get the infrastructure, have it installed and everything. But we are engaged in private fundraising with our members and all of the residents of the Edgewater North area. And so far, we have raised about $14,000. We anticipate that we will be able to meet our overall goal so that we can fund the first 2 years. And then we anticipate that it will be self-sustaining over time as we continue to raise money every year from our residents.
And through the chair, just a little history here. I've been on council going to my 4th year right now. The former president, Linda Meglin, did a wonderful job. She's the first one that brought it up to me saying, Marty, these are old, antiquated, and we need them improved. And are there any funding sources available? And through the leadership of our county council, some of the recommendations from individual awards approved by all the council members became available, and I suggested that we consider applying for this. But since then, there's some absolutely serious situations that are erupted in the neighborhood, and this is just going to have the ability not only to give a peace of mind, but actually a law enforcement tool working with the city of Cleveland. And not just your time, Darren. The city of Cleveland has to go through their own cameras, looking at some of the activity that was occurring there, and this is just going to help streamline it. So I applaud the neighbors in the neighborhood for stepping up, and I got to give a shout out to Linda because it all started with
Absolutely. So I was elected president last year, and Linda Meglin was our president for about 13 years and had been working with Councilman Sweeney for several years trying to make this project a reality. So, I had big shoes to fill. I'm trying to desperately lower expectations so that no one is disappointed. But she really led this effort and was looking for funding and for the right mix of what made sense for our neighborhood. And I will add that, we've been in talks with the commander of the 1st District, and we will, at the right time, have this accessed, I don't know what the right terms are, but with the real-time crime at the city of Cleveland, so that these cameras will be accessible for the police should they need it.
And Mr. Chairman, to my colleagues, I'm just asking for consideration of this important District 3 project and investment.
Through the chair to Ms. Galen Shoreline. Is the cost cheaper for installation due to the previous camera setup, or would this be the regular cost,
Yeah,
$47,000?
through the chair to the councilwoman, I'm going to pretend like I know the answer, even though Darren's probably better to answer that, but I believe no. The cameras are so outdated, and we've spent many years trying to upgrade them. Because we were one of the first areas to have the security cameras, they were great and they were state-of-the-art, 13 years ago. Since that time, it's been extremely frustrating for our board to try to allocate resources to update those cameras. So we will try to recoup something, but I really don't think that there's any value to them at this point. We'll continue using them, the ones that are working, until we get the new installation. And we do try to provide information to the police or anyone who needs it as we're able, but because of the clarity, it just isn't usually very helpful.
Can you leave your card with the clerk? I'd be interested to find out who you have in terms of who you contracted with to put them in.
Yep.
I think this would be great projects throughout. You're using it for apartment complexes, but, there's senior homes, there's things like that. Security. I would like to utilize that.
Yeah, and Darren researched this, so go ahead.
Yeah, we can definitely put you in touch with them, and I think they've already putting in cameras. They're working with the Metro Parks to do some work with them and other areas of Cleveland as well. So they're already putting some cameras in the area. And just to reiterate what Galen said, yeah, our current system, it's not going to adapt to that at all. This new system, we have to be rewired. They're going to wire it in, put it on poles, and get the right permits and contracts out to set it up. So it's not tied to our current system at all.
So that's all, the contracts and getting them on the poles, that's all included in the cost?
Correct.
Okay, anything further? Hearing none, if everything's in order, I'll accept the motion for Resolution 2024-0001 to the full council for second reading. Motion?
So moved?
Motion is second. Further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Against? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
2024-0024.
Resolution number 2024-0024, authorizing a contract with Court Community Service in the amount not to exceed $555,000 for community work, service placement, and supervision program services for the period 1/1/2024 through 12/31/2026.
Welcome.
Good afternoon, Chairman Gallagher and the committee members. I'm Linda Lagoonzad for the Corrections Planning Board, and we also have in attendance here today Gregory Popovich, who is the administrator of the Cuyahoga County Common Pleas Court. This item before you today is our contract with Court Community Services. It's a proposed 3-year contract beginning on January 1st, 2024, and ending on December 31st, 2026, for a total amount of $550,000, which is broken down by $185,000 per year. The proposed contract provides placements for adult offenders ordered by the court to perform community service while they are under oversight of the court's adult probation department. Once referred to and accepted by Court Community Services, offenders are assigned community service work sites or work crews where they volunteer their time under the supervision of the Court Community Services staff. The work assignments vary across the county, but can range from litter cleanup to landscaping services to general maintenance and assistance at hunger centers. The total amount of the contract is the same as the previous 3-year contract between the court and Court Community Services. And that was in effect from 2021 to 2023. But also, this overall contract amount has actually been the same for 14 years. And with this contract, we'll make it 17 years. The contract is supported 100% by county general funds.
Thank you. Questions? Hearing none. if everything's in order for this contract to move forward, I'll accept a motion for Resolution 2024-0024 to the full council for second reading. Do you need this immediately?
Well, that
I'm
would be,
noticing that the start date's already passed.
I mean, if that could happen, sure, absolutely. Would only help this particular provider, which is
So
a very good provider for us.
I would request a motion for suspension of rules for Resolution 2024-0024 to the full council.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Against? Thank you.
Thank you.
2024-0030.
Resolution number 2024-0030, authorizing an amendment to contract number 2525 with Applewood Centers for Emergency Respite and Crisis Bed Services for youth referred by the Coordinated Approach to Misdemeanors CALM program.
Thank you. And we have a substitute for 2024-0030. You have that in front of you. It changes the amount from $1,029,949.61 to $849,511.43.
Yes, and they're here to address it.
Okay. Well, why don't we move that so we're walking over the proposed substitute? So I would move that we would substitute Resolution 2024-0030 with the proposed substitute.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Against? We will now work off the proposed substitute. Ladies?
Good afternoon, Tara Brown,
Afternoon.
Juvenile Court. So this is Juvenile Court's second amendment with Applewood Centers to provide emergency respite and crisis beds. This contract is 100% funded by the Reclaim Grant, and after it was placed on the agenda, we realized we needed to revise the amount, and so again, the new amendment amount is $849,511.43.
Good afternoon. I'm Melissa McDaniel, also with Juvenile Court. This contract, it provides emergency respite crisis beds for our youth referred as an alternative to detention for those youth who are not appropriate due to being multi-system involved or having mental health issues that lead them to need stabilization, treatment services, and assessment services that Applewood can provide that the detention center cannot. This is a bed that we hold through Reclaim funds, so we are not competing with other county agencies for this bed, and we always have it available to us when we need. This contract also provides assessment services within our early intervention and diversion services, where Applewood has a team of clinicians who work there. That way, if any youth that comes through the early intervention and diversion services screens as needing additional, we do a mental health screening, and if they flag on any of the metrics on that screening called the MAISY, they are referred to an Applewood clinician to do a further assessment to see if any services could be benefited.
Okay. And this is really just a one-year extension starting in last June to this June. Is there a reason it took so long to get to us? Normally, it's our problem.
This particular contract, we had some staff turnover. Then two, we rely on our final approval from the state for our reclaim budget. And that was one of the reasons why the amount was also changed, because we got some revisions we needed to make back from the state.
Makes sense. Government, dealing with government, nothing really is squeaky clean. Okay, questions? Yes, ma'am.
Through the chair, to Ms. Brown, you mentioned in a dollar amount that it was amended to. You said 800, what thousand?
$849,511.43. Okay.
And that's down from the 1 million.
Correct.
Question in regards to who provides the mental health assistance. Do you have outside community partners like the Adams Board that help with once the students may test for mental health?
So Applewood, what you mean after they complete the screening for the
Yes.
mental health? So the court has quite a few different service providers that we contract with internally that can provide the services. And then Applewood also refers out to school-based programs, community programs, depending on where the youth resides and what services are available to them. So they have a wide range of network that utilizes those services.
And the ages of the children?
It can be anywhere, and truly any youth under the age of 18 at the time of the alleged offense. Typically, it can be as low as 8 is the lowest I believe I've seen, but typically our age range is usually between 12 and 18.
So you stated that there was a lot of community partners, and I apologize, I didn't catch your name. Does the Adams Board play any role in the early intervention?
I do not believe so off the top of my head. I know there are partners in our BHJJ, our Behavioral Health and Juvenile Justice Program. We work with the Adams Board on that, and the programs through there, which are our integrated co-occurring treatment and multi-systemic treatment, are both assisted. They are BHJJ funded programs, so the Adams Board would be a part of those as far as that specific funding stream.
And your name again?
My name is Melissa McDaniel.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Anything further? Okay, if everything's in order, I'll accept a motion for Resolution 2024-0030 as substituted to the full council for
Second reading suspension?
second reading suspension. Thank you.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Against? Thank you. Any miscellaneous business?